14 years after the international agreement on the Millennium Development Goals, the UN is now actively involved in bringing countries together in order to debate the so-called post-2015 agenda.
This is running parallel to designing the Sustainable Development Goals.
Our alumni are experts in this field.
With a double degree in environment and resource management, they are qualified graduates from Germany and Latin America that are aware of key issues related to sustainability.
In September 2014, 25 NREM graduates met with alumni from the Center for Natural Resources and Development to spend a week in San Luis Potosí in Mexico.
In the previous months, they had already met online during the blended learning phase.
With a special focus on the Latin American and Caribbean region, they worked together on project concepts and research articles to bring the post-2015 agenda forward.
Networking is a key factor and a fundamental tool to develop new ideas and to manage projects.
I think the NREM Alumni Network is a great idea to have because it brings everybody together even after finishing the studies. It's kind of sad when people kind of get lost, and now we can all meet together and exchange experiences and maybe also create a network for future collaboration in the profession.
It's an opportunity for us to meet other people, to look at other cultures and to exchange different experiences and learn from each other.
I think that the role of our alumni for the future, for the sustainable development here in Latin America, could be very clearly seen in the last 2 days in this conference. For me, it was very good to see how good and how convincing the contributions of our alumni to this conference were. I liked especially that one focus was integrated in more or less all the presentations which were presented from our alumni, and that was the integrative perspective. And that means that all the alumni already work in that interdisciplinary way which this conference actually is demanding.
The Alumni Seminar was embedded in the international conference called Natural Resources and Sustainable Development Goals for Latin America.
Well-known experts in the field of resource management shared their knowledge and expertise regarding the environmental and socio-economic challenges in this region.
The first are the Sustainable Development Goals. Secondly is the Hugo Framework for Action, post-2015. And third are the Paris talks on climate change. Now the three are very critical because they're all linked, but fortunately there's not enough cohesion between the three. The Sustainable Development Goals are interesting because they have, I think, 26 working groups, which seem to correspond to various lobbying groups. There's one on disaster risk reduction, there's one on climate change adaptation, of course food security, and many other issues. Within the disaster risk reduction working group, they're also talking about including ecosystem goals, which is interesting because there's another working group on biodiversity and forests. So I'm wondering how all of this will be put together since there are many overlaps between the different working groups.
The big challenge is actually to make it sustainable. That means not having only a project that lasts 5 years and then it's over, but to establish procedures, improve governance, build capacity in local communities and government agencies that later makes it easier for them to go on with the goals of conservation and of sustainable development in this region.
Latin America faces big environmental challenges now and in the future.
Climate change,
biodiversity loss,
urbanization,
and more.
It finds itself far from achieving environmental sustainability.
Creating and strengthening an alumni network of experts that specializes on this vulnerable region was one of the main goals of the Alumni Seminar 2014.
Our alumni can play an important role in the post-2015 agenda.
With innovative project ideas and research concepts, they contribute to a sustainable future in Latin America.
We have a common, the common vision about our future and our professional career. We want to write projects, and this is a great opportunity to make those contacts.
During the seminar, our alumni didn't only meet previous study colleagues, but also guest lecturers, experts, civil society representatives, and decision makers from the region.
I think that it was a great experience to meet other people, other generations, their experiences, what they are doing, how it's their lives, and how this experience of the master program changed their lives, what are they doing in their countries, if they stay in Germany or in their home countries, Mexico. Well, I thought that it was a really good experience.
Having spent 1 week of extensive training and networking, our alumni went home with new valuable impressions and contacts, ready to face today's challenges of achieving a more sustainable world.